Welcome to Red Dead Redemption 2. Today we have the best mods of 2025. All of the original videos will be linked down below, as well as my updated 2026 guide for modding RDR2. We have a bunch of new videos in the works for Red Dead Redemption, so if you don't want to miss out on the latest and greatest, make sure you go ahead and hit that like and subscribe. For now though, sit back, relax, and enjoy. Our first mod is called Micah on Shoulder. This simply gives Arthur's best friend a nice comfy seat on his shoulder. Hold on, let me take my hat off real quick. Micah Bell now has a cozy seat on our man Arthur Morgan. This mod replaces the Raven Talisman in game, and you can easily equip it from the Rampage menu by going into player, into your wardrobe. And then it looks like it's in Unknown 2 for the newest Rampage update. You can equip it from here, Ravenclaw Talisman. Now we have a brand new graphics mod. This mod is called Renewal Visual Overhaul. Renewal is a visual overhaul for RDR2 that enhances the game's atmosphere, and it does this through a variety of mechanics. Lighting has been significantly improved. You'll now have a realistic color grade, all giving you the most natural look possible. You'll have a much cleaner and realistic look to the game, all while still staying true to the original Rockstar design. Your sunrises and sunsets will be hitting a little bit different, so now they'll have richer tones without being oversaturated. Nighttime is truly nighttime now, truly making the nighttime properly dark. So now if you don't have a light source, you might get a little lost in the sauce. And this is a feature I definitely love. This brings a cleaner, more realistic version of nighttime that we've always needed in RDR2. This mod is also optimized, meaning that this is supposed to be giving you some awesome visuals, but at the same time minimize performance drops. So that's definitely a plus there. There's also a plethora of other changes as well, with the addition of reworked clouds for all weather types, so overcast will be looking nice and spicy. Rain as well, you'll see some significant improvements. I mean, look at them clouds, man. And like I said, this affects all weather types. Them clouds about to be looking good. Fog resolution has also been improved, so now you'll have 2K fog instead of the basic 512, all with no performance drop. The weather cycles will now last 6 times longer than usual, so you'll be able to witness the beauty of the thunderstorms a little longer. And then of course you'll have a smoother weather transition process. Other effects such as the rain, thunderstorms, sleet, snow, all of that has been improved, so they'll look a lot better. Your wind gusts and speed have been improved water reflection, and even better snow glint. This mod touches a little bit of everything. So if you're looking for a renewal of the RDR2 graphics, this new visual overhaul mod is definitely a deep choice. Now moving on to our next mod, you'll need to head over to Emerald Ranch. This mod is called Ambient Herd. This mod adds a huge herd of cattle just north of Emerald Ranch. There's something like 108 cattle in this area, and while he's not here right now, where'd that man's go? Sometimes you see a ranch hand here with his shepherd dog. That kind of adds a little bit more immersion. These cows aren't just here for a cosmetic reason either. I mean, it is totally fine if you just want it for immersive purposes, but you can also use this mod in combination with rustling. So you can herd up the cattle in this area to take them to another farm and sell them for profit, giving you a little extra something to do in game. Our next mod is called Red the Drunk's Ambient World Beta. And what this mod does is, hold on, I need to find Chinatown real quick. This mod expands the ambience of RDR2. By increasing the variety of NPCs, you'll have new props to see, and even more added vehicle variety just roaming the streets. This is a great addition to the already immersive world of RDR2, really giving you another reason to fully explore. And this is a mod you actually may not notice at first. The added NPCs are meant to blend in with the already vanilla ones, and it's not like you'll just run into them if you're looking for them. Most of the time it'll just be a random chance. This mod just doesn't add NPCs either. It allows them to do things they normally wouldn't be able to do. For instance, now NPCs will be able to enter shops, so you won't be the only one browsing the goods. The variety of NPCs you see have really been expanded upon, so running into a character with the same face design has definitely been decreased, as well as an overall population increase in certain towns. And for Valentine specifically, with the addition of all of these NPCs, there have been campsites scattered around the area now that these NPCs actually live at now. And did I mention the vehicle variety? You'll see a lot more props, vehicles around the world, and overall deeper immersion. This isn't a mod that affects the whole map. Maybe there will be some more expansions in the future, but this does affect a majority of the places you'd expect it to. So Valentine, of course. Ambient World also affects Strawberry. Roads in Ansburg have also been affected. And of course you'll be able to find some things out in the wild, such as in the Heartlands. Bro, I just walked into a bandit camp. But yeah, that's basically the gist of the mod. There's a whole bunch of new locations for you to go and find, a lot more NPCs for you to meet, and just more immersion to be had. So definitely do not sleep on this mod. Now we're moving on to the Super Ultimate Horse mod. The name stands true to its name. This mod allows you to obtain every horse in the game naturally. As long as you're past chapter 2 in story, you'll now have a way to find any horse that you want. And to make it even easier, the mod page has all of the horses listed and the exact area you can find them naturally. Damn, that's attention to detail. You'll now be able to buy stable horses from the start, so you no longer need to progress the story to buy better horses. And now there are no missable horses. The first horses you get to ride in the epilogue, you can now obtain them in the wild. Even if you missed one of the in-game quests where you can receive a special horse, this mod still lets you obtain it. This mod even affects NPCs, so now you'll even be able to see NPCs on unique horses. So depending on their status in life, they could have an Arabian. Damn, that horse is majestic. This allows you to see a lot more variety in towns, so now you won't just see the same horses riding. I definitely like that. Previously exclusive horses such as the War Horse or even the online horses for RDO are also now available for you to find. Like the mod says, it's every horse in the game. This mod even makes some tweaks to the law. So now the higher your wanted level, you'll see lawmen riding in on higher quality of horses. So the higher your wanted level, the higher quality the horses. And if you happen to get a high enough bounty for a US Marshal to get you, you can expect them to have some of the best horses law enforcement has to offer. They are using your tax dollars after all. Overall, there's been a whole suite of changes, from the occasional woman riding in towns, more hitching posts scattered throughout the world, and even some additions to Fort Wallace. Not to mention the modified bounties when it comes to stealing horses. This mod is truly an A+. The ability for you to obtain missable horses, being able to get story locked ones as well, and the addition of RDO horses, plus 2 exclusives added on top. The Super Ultimate Horse mod is definitely a must-have. Our next mod is called Smoking Barrels. This mod was originally a part of the 1899 Ballistics mod, but now there's an improved standalone version that just has all of these cool effects for the weapons. So now when you fire your shots, there's been unused muzzle flashes added to the game. The size of that flash depends on the caliber of your weapon, and now you'll see even these new smoke effects. So when you're in combat, things can get really smoky. The smoke and flash is also dependent on the type of ammo you're using for your weapon, so some ammo types will be a little bit smokier, and now in combat with all the extra guns smoking up, it adds another level of intensity. Now I'd say the only negative when it comes to this mod, of course if you can't handle all of the extra added smoke, but this also comes with a performance cost as well. So if you're already struggle busting to run RDR2, this mod may not be the one for you. Now since we're already in the thick of battle, there's been an update for Wero, which is the Western Euphoria Ragdoll overhaul that I missed a few weeks back. And quite honestly, this is my favorite Euphoria mod. The ragdoll physics this mod gives you, I definitely just can't get enough. And with this latest update, there's been some general gunshot reaction improvements. If you switch over to the high velocity round, NPCs will stumble more frequently from that. There's also been some improved falling reactions. Oh damn, Arthur, you good? You fell. The dude fell like a rock. With every update, Wero just continues to improve. You can never go wrong if you download this. Starting out, we have Fat Arthur Morgan V2. This mod ensures that Arthur is always at maximum weight, but instead of just looking chunky, this makes him look chunky and beefy at the same time. He's more reminiscent of a strong man, and this even comes with the chunky head edition, so you can have a beefy head for his beefy body as well. This is also compatible with a few other mods such as Daddy Morgan or Old Arthur, so I'm definitely have to try those next time. But Beefy Arthur, man, you got it going on, dog. Now next we have a mod called Wild Horseback Riders. So now you'll finally see NPCs galloping with their horse, or you'll even see them straight up booking it. I don't know if it affects the carts as well, but this man is actually moving. This is one of those mods that brings in a feature that was originally in RDR1, where you actually had cowboys riding fast. So now you're not the only one that's in a rush. Now I know you'll absolutely love this next one. This mod is called Extended Player Animations. This mod brings fixes and improvements to a variety of in-game animations for both Arthur and John. Now this used to be called Extended John Marston Animations, but as the mod author went along and fixed animations, they found themselves fixing a lot more than just John. This mod is packed full of goodies, and all of these new animations really enhance your experience in RDR2. So now John is his own man. He no longer shares animations with Arthur. He now has his own animations when he's trudging through the swamp, when you're trying to cross the river. John even has his own custom animations, and of course even in the ice and snow. These animations are fresh and exclusively for John. John's also been given his own motion animations, meaning that, for example, when he's stealthy, his animation is custom. When you're in combat, you'll see new animations as well, whether you're in third person or even first person. And now John finally stands up straight. He no longer has that slight shoulder lean. In the vanilla version, man, this man was leaning. But this mod fixes that. On top of that, he has his own custom idle animations you'll see. He has his own casual walking animations, similar to how he used to walk in RDR1. He even has a new custom tired running animation, which honestly looks really smooth. Damn, and this mod really does extend the animations. This mod even goes so far into depth that even carrying large animals has their own unique animations between John and Arthur. Plus, when they're carrying large animals as well, they both have different animations when they're carrying their short arm, so you'll be able to notice some subtle differences. And then it even extends if you go into deep water while carrying a large animal. I mean, look at that. The dude is raising his hand with the short arm. This mod is immediately going into my main mod list, that's for sure. John now has unique crouching animations, so you notice some differences from Arthur Morgan. And then of course you'll notice that John's facial animations are also unique. Hold on, my man was tired for running, but now he's normal. I have no idea why Rockstar decided to make John and Arthur's animations the same, because this is totally a different experience. And the only reason I usually just play Arthur Morgan is because there was no change in animation anyway. But now I'm definitely going to be using John more often. There's been an array of smaller changes as well. So for example, if you're in first person as either John or Arthur, your character will now properly grip the bolt action and the Carcano rifles. So a little bug fix there. And now I'm being surrounded. What the hell? These guys don't know I'm trying to make a mod showcase video. You're done. You're done. You're done. And you're done. Oh, one more. There we go. All in all, this mod is packed with hundreds of different fixes. And quite honestly, this is a necessity. There's so many new added animations in here, it really polishes up the game. Like, look at this. You get a knee crouch idle animation when you're holding two short arms. This mod goes into some serious depth. And all the animations depend on the condition. So whether it's raining, you're drunk, you're in eagle eye, near a fire, mild winds, strong winds, and even a blizzard. And even if you're sneaking through brush, you get these new custom animations. Honestly, if you don't download this mod right now, you're losing out. So if you see some new animations in future showcases, you already know what mod I'm using. We then have the Kamasa River dock fix. This mod restores the previously broken version of the bridge, and it now offers you full functionality. The bridge used to be broken just like this, but now on top it's freshly paved, and it kind of gives you that freshly built look too. You have wood chips on the side, and then the uneven tone of the planks. I mean, come on, that looks nice. Now this bridge does come with a bug, but honestly it's no big issue. You'll just have this weird little walk animation as you go over certain parts of the newly painted bridge. This bridge also comes with a lockbox you can loot, and this will give you canned worms and crickets. You'll need these because now this is a full-on fishing spot, and now there's even a chair for you to sit on, as long as you have the proper mods installed. Now this next mod is called Unrestricted Shooting. This allows you to shoot while you're falling, diving, basically in scenarios where you wouldn't usually be able to shoot. So you definitely could have some fun with that mod. Damn, Sadie. Now though for the graphics mod. This one is called Flare, Full Light and Atmosphere Rendering Enhancement. This is a complete overhaul of RDR2's time cycle as well as the weather. And it's been crafted to enhance the visual fidelity as well as add in some realism. Every in-game hour has been adjusted, so you'll get to see more of that dynamic lighting across different times, which really do give you some great cinematics. There's been changes to the lighting, so global illumination as well as the light bounces have been increased, giving you more of that realistic look. Your days are no longer overly bright, plus no more of the excessively dark nights. Man, that moonlight on the cactus, that is looking nice. Wow, Flare really stepping up, huh? You will now get that perfect light balance whether it's night or daytime. And as you can see, there have been various enhancements to the weather system, which now also include dynamic cloud movement, so the clouds will no longer be static. And this is actually based on real-world photography, so it's adding even more realism into the game. Dynamic wind mechanics have also been restored, so no matter what weather you're experiencing, you could have a chance of greater wind gusts. It's no longer just restricted to one weather type, and those winds will vary from every encounter, so the intensity and the duration will both change. The particle effects have been enhanced, and honestly this may be the best rain I've ever seen in RDR2. Flare makes the rain render as more natural, so it's no longer overly bright, and it actually looks really nice. I was not expecting that. And then even the thunderstorms, oh man, you gotta see this. Now, that's impressive. But if the thunderstorm is like that, you know the blizzards are gonna be just as good. Oh yeah, that's nice. Whatever weather condition you find yourself in, man, you will actually feel it. I definitely know John and Sadie feeling it. Now, a few of the features are in early access or they're just being worked on, but I think Flare is one of those visual overhauls you'll definitely need to keep an eye out for. I am definitely really loving this one. Now, I went ahead and added those additional add-ons for Fat Arthur Morgan V2. So as the page recommended, we've added in Daddy Morgan as well as Old Arthur Morgan, and the additions are definitely worth it. In order to get that actually strongman looking build, man, Daddy Morgan's definitely needed. It definitely pumps up his arms a bit. And need to get some of that added extra ruggedness with the Old Arthur Morgan V2, which also changes his hair gray. But if you're not looking for an older version of Arthur, just the Daddy Morgan mod is more than enough. This is definitely a vibe, man. There's so many other Arthur Morgan overhauls we got coming up too, and there's so many I don't even know which one's my favorite anymore. Open all interiors allows you to access a bunch of unique locations, and most of these locations were used for the story mode version of the game, but for some reason once you complete the mission, the area completely becomes locked off. This mod completely changes that. So now doors that were previously locked in RDR2 free roam, you now have full access and will be able to open them. In some places you'll have doors you can actually enter, while other places you'll need to be teleported inside. You even have quick access to Guarma and Saint Denis, and even a few portals in New Austin to get you over to Mexico. Open Interiors has you covered. Now, Undead Nightmare 2 is a recent release that kind of gives you a full-on DLC to play through. This gives you 10 different missions to play as Arthur Morgan, and your main goal is to stop the plague of the undead. Similar to the RDR1 Undead Nightmare, you go and meet Uncle and his lumbago, and pretty much from there, everything goes south. You'll begin to see walking corpses, and even locations where the undead run rampant. During these 10 missions, you'll fight hordes of zombies, as well as really uncover the truth of what's going on. Definitely worth checking out to get your Undead Nightmare fix. The Ultimate Wagon Overhaul just might make it into my favorite 2025 mods. This is a mod inspired by Stash Your Wagon and Hunting Wagon, and this mod completely overhauls how you interact with wagons. You're able to claim wagons you find in game or spawned with Rampage Trainer, and once you've done that, you'll fully be able to customize your wagon with various tents, but just keep in mind not all wagons are customizable like this, so you may need to experiment with a few. You have different livery options to change up the trim and design a bit, and then you can even enable the lantern props, so during the nighttime you won't be left in the dark. You have a few extra options as well, so these are add-ons such as covers or even that inner support lining. You may see a few bonus options as well, which will further outfit your wagon with some unique props. You're even able to hitch your saddled horse, so with the double tap of a hotkey, whatever horse you had saddled at the time will now be your new wagon horse. There's even a feature for your nighttime wagon exploration. This even has wagon high beams. Damn, look at that. So not only the lantern on the back or the 2 bonus lights you can have in the front, you can equip your horse with a high beam as well. This mod is definitely sleek. You can also initiate autopilot mode and also keep your wagon keep going straight, but you have the ability to adjust the speed, so you have 10 different levels you can choose from to accelerate or even decelerate. And also while you're aiming a weapon, the cart will fully take control following the path on the road. So while you're out shooting bandits, you won't need to steer the wagon yourself. You could also hire your own driver. What's up, dog? So once your driver is hired, you just set yourself a waypoint on the map and you'll be off. You're also completely able to stow items inside of your wagon. So while you're next to your wagon, if you press a hotkey, the mod will place that item in the back for you. And then of course, at any time you want to unload your goods, you can easily do so again. There's my poor bear pelt. There's also a flying mode you can activate. So if you want to be Santa Claus, Well, you can have yourself a jolly old time. You can even spawn in ramps whenever you want to. Not to mention the ability to enable boat mode. Damn, Jesus take the wheel. Just don't stay in one spot for too long. Damn. I can definitely see why they call this the ultimate wagon overhaul. This thing is absolutely jam-packed with features. Dispatch is a new mod that alters the law and dispatch response system in RDR2. This includes some improvements compared to the vanilla system, as well as improvements to the law enforcement AI. So now when a major crime occurs, places like Saint Denis, of course, basically have an unlimited police supply due to the town's population. So the US Marshal response from out of town will take a bit longer. They'll only show themselves if the situation completely spirals out of control. So the more Saint Denis police officers you take out, the more deadly the response will be. Eventually though, you'll begin to see police dogs, US Marshals will start to arrive. So if you can somehow survive that, the military will start to arrive. And as you can see, the response is a lot more drastic. You will be absolutely surrounded by hordes of lawmen. The severity of enforcement also depends on the location you're at. So of course, if you're in areas such as the prison, your only response will be from the prison guards that are here. If you try to break into places such as Fort Wallace, the military will automatically start hunting you down, which definitely does make sense. Each region also has their distinct combat styles as well as characteristics. So for example, in Strawberry, you'll notice that a lot of the civilians will join in on the action, trying to help out the lawmen in their small little town. In Valentine, you'll notice more law dogs assisting the deputies, and then in places such as Tumbleweed, where law is minimal, there are dedicated law posses that will come and try and take you out. Even in some wilderness areas such as Amberino, where there's not really any settlements, you'll still be answering to rangers that patrol these areas. This also comes with some features to enhance outlaw gangs, improving the bounty hunters that actually come to get you, and even some minor crime changes. So if you're looking for a fresh new law response system, Dispatch could definitely be for you. Now for people that like to add a little color into their RDR2 experience, Color VFX is here. This is a reshade meant to be used with Visual Redemption, and Visual Redemption is the graphics overhaul I usually use in these mod showcases. This reshade allows you to add a splash of color into the game, making the colors really pop out. It looks like it even adds a touch of bloom to the mix too, kind of giving you sort of a dreamy type of look. There's a lot of variations when it comes to different reshades you can use, so I'm always happy to see some new ones coming into the mix. Now moving on, we have RDR2 Random World Encounters. This mod adds more unique, spontaneous, and chaotic ambient events to the game. So depending on where you're at, you'll find NPCs that are randomly fighting each other. Some NPCs will just randomly attack you. Predatory animals could spawn in, so either you or nearby characters could be on the menu. You'll witness people getting mugged, horse bucking incidents, and even some dynamic weather changes. This adds a bunch of unique and sometimes funny scenes into the game. This mod even has some customization options, so there's blips you can enable so you know what events are happening around you. You can change how often the events occur. You can configure the radius as well, so you can control the distance these incidents occur from you, so you're able to customize this mod to your own tastes. Definitely add this in for some fun variety. We then have a new Euphoria mod in the mix. This one is called Western Styles Ragdoll Euphoria Overhaul. NPCs will really feel the weight of your weapon, depending on the weapon you choose to use. Characters will stumble a lot longer, roll off walls, and you may even see their arms or legs just fly around. And I actually had a lot of fun with this one. I'll show you a few clips of it in action, and for this I even changed to the explosive round ammunition, which you'll see was definitely a blast. This mod is called Ped Damage Overhaul Reloaded. And yes, this is an upgraded version of the original PDO mod. This new version comes with a variety of bug fixes, as well as a variety of new features. So now there's been an immersive soundscape added, giving you hundreds of different sounds when it comes to custom pains and death sounds. So now you might hear your enemies scream of pain, which will add a lot more realism, giving you even more reason to boot up the game again. This updated version now comes with a mod menu as well, so by pressing F10 on the keyboard, you can enable and disable the mod at will. You can configure the dying system, so with progression you'll be using the new PDO Reloaded version, or if you prefer the old PDO, you can use the Legacy. You can change up the push down method, choosing between hybrid, push, or stumble. You can enable longer bleedouts, enable friendly fire. So if you're in story mode, parts of your gang can kill you if they hit you with a shot. You can choose for wounded NPCs to die instantly, and then you have a handy debug menu. That little mod menu is actually a nice quality of life add-on, because in the previous version you had different hotkeys you needed to press, and then after doing so all you saw was a flash of text on the upper hand side of the screen. The mod menu makes it really simple to see what you're doing. This new reloaded version also comes with some enhanced features that really enhance your gunfights. Now every gunfight you have will be more varied and dynamic, because now the NPCs react more realistically. NPCs will now stumble when they're shot if they're running. NPCs can now gasp for breath when they're shot, or just writhe in pain in their own pool of blood. And the in-game mod menu isn't the only way you can customize this mod. If you open up the peddamageoverhaul.ini file, you have a plethora of options you can change and modify. So for instance, you can totally change the mod menu hotkey. If you're having trouble in story missions, you can set the mod to disable by itself automatically. You can change health values for NPCs and police, you and your horse's invincibility setting, and even weapon damage modifiers. Whatever you're trying to tweak, there's probably an option for it. So in a nutshell, you get enhanced death sounds, you get improved NPC death mechanics, dynamic headshots, and improved dying state progression. Now we didn't cover everything this mod has to offer, because let me tell you, there is a lot. So definitely give the mod page a quick read. There are quite a few interesting features. We've also paired this with two other mods that the page recommended. So we're using AREP for the Euphoria mod, as well as improvements in blood to get the best ragdoll effects, as well as physics to get this mod to function to its best ability. This is definitely one of those mods that will always be in my mod list. Next up, we have a mod called Beta Heartlands Rock and Soil 2.0. This changes the rock and soil textures of the Heartland to mimic what we saw in the beta version of the game. So you'll now have beta textures and colors for the Heartlands region of the game. Rock textures have been enhanced, as well as the soil. There's now been some new bison spawns added to the area as well. Unrealistic foliage has been removed, and even more realistic tree colors have been added. This is pretty much a standalone mod for now, but it seems like the mod author is going to add compatibility with the popular Heart Plains mod, so definitely be on the lookout for that. Now we have a mod that expands the city of Blackwater. This mod is called Great Plains Project, and this is basically a port of the Blackwater version you find in RDR1. This mod restores missing buildings and houses of the Great Plains and Tall Trees area. So now when you explore the city of Blackwater, you'll see some worthwhile additions. You'll see new buildings such as the furniture store, Blackwater City Hall, new additions to the port, as well as a police station. There's also been other various assets added, so you'll be able to see more trees, as well as a few new bridges for you to use. All in all, this brings back the RDR1 vibes. Now we finally have a mod to bring back hope to Beecher's Hope. This mod is called Beecher's Hope Extension DLC, and this mod aims to expand Beecher's Hope with a variety of add-ons. So now you'll see the farm thriving with crops, equipped with a few scarecrows to keep the crows away. Various tents have been added to the property, as well as a bunch of props and buildings. And these props aren't there just to be there, they're interactable as well as a variety of items that you can loot. Even Arthur's tent has been added, which is fully equipped. So of course there's Arthur's mom, as well as Mary Linton, his mom's flower, Arthur's old tent, as well as the wagon, campfire, bed, and of course a few items you can loot. There's now a corn tower for the crops, a wagon loaded with corn, as well as an additional wagon for extra goods. And then there's the gun tent with lootable objects as well as ammo. And then there's even a campsite for Sadie if you follow this well-lit path. Sadie's campsite comes fully fleshed out with a few bounty posters, a gun wagon, outhouse, a handy water tower, a very spacious tent, and even a full-fledged kitchen. Sadie is definitely living large. There's also been some additions to the house, so now there's actually a room for Charles when he visits, where he keeps things like his hat, his coat, pictures, and whatever else he needs. There's also been some love added for Uncle, so now when you go and visit the addict, there's been a few additions. So now there's an additional guest bed for sleeping, there's a new shaving table, a whole bunch of pelts, a carpet, and a bit cleaner room. Uncle is definitely lucky to be staying here now. This is definitely a mod worth adding to expand your Beecher's Hope experience. We now have a cool new mod called Combat Roll. So instead of that dive mechanic you originally get in base game, instead you'll do a combat roll. This mod was made from leftover animations found in the game file. And man, honestly, this actually looks pretty sleek. This may just be another thing Rockstar was just too lazy to implement. What do you think? Next up, we have a mod called Horse Rest Points. And this mod sets up a few points that you can find across the map for you and your horse to rest at. And to be honest, I couldn't find any of these. I think it's something that you'll just kind of stumble upon as you're riding your horse, but that's why we have our next mod installed as well. This mod is called Horse Nap, and this allows you and your horse to take a little nap. So whenever you enter cinematic mode, you'll now have the option to sleep. You'll be able to immersively sleep next to your horse and even fill up a few of your cores. You'll drop down a bedroll, and when you're ready, you can just ride off again. Definitely a cool little mod to add in. Our next mod is called Red Dead Boats. This allows you to spawn boats at 38 different locations. You'll see new boat markers spread across the map, and from the mod menu that pops up, you'll be able to spawn a variety of different boats. You're fully able to use and operate these boats as well, so have yourself some fun. Now we have a mod called Animal Tracker. This mod allows you to fine-tune the animals you want to track, as well as even pinpoint where animals are on the map. You can even see the animals on your minimap, and by pressing F8, you'll have additional options you can fine-tune. So you can filter different animals by quality, and then once you're all done, all of these settings will automatically save. The actual color of the animal icon depends on the quality of the animal. There's even additional options in the ini file you can tweak as well. So in the animal tracker folder, and then animal tracker.ini file, you can change the different hotkeys to whatever you want, because by default the settings are kind of weird. This mod could definitely add some value to your hunting though. Next we have the Autumn Vegetation 2.0 single player fall experience. And this mod brings the fall experience to various areas of the map. There will be custom vegetation, the towns will be stylized with various props, such as pumpkins of course. With this mod, the fall experience is in full effect. We all know the best season is fall, so now you can experience fall permanently. New Visuals Revised is a graphical mod we haven't covered yet, and this is definitely one you can't miss. News Visuals is a lighting and atmospheric overhaul. Graphics across the board have been updated and improved, and I gotta say this is one of the best mods in its category. This mod is meant to give RDR2 a very distinctive and stylized look. So you'll see a new style when it comes to the exaggerated color palette, the new atmosphere of the game, an improved take on the lighting system, and all this blends seamlessly together to create such a unique look. The night vibes when using news visuals is pretty much perfect. It's not something that's overly bright or even overly dark. It's kind of that in-between vibe that just hits right. The snowy areas at night will look majestic as hell because the moon is just hitting different or something. And with some of the newest updates to news visuals, you can experience some pretty cool weather effects. Whether it be something creepy and mysterious like this, or even something as simple as just some plain snow. Whatever the vibe you're looking for, it's here and more beautiful than ever. Now there are two mods that pair well with news visuals. The first one is called the Heart Plains of New Hanover, the Heartlands Reimagined. This completely dries out the Heartlands area, so the once lush green farmland has now become the ideal land for grazing. So the land from Flatneck Station all the way over to Emerald Ranch is now dry as hell. And even if you make your way over to Valentine, you'll see that Valentine even has a mix of that dryness with the lushness of the green. And you'll see as you get outside of the borders of the Heartlands, you'll begin to see a steady mix of dry and lush. You'll even see a dry spell if you make your way over to Cumberland Forest. This is definitely a worthwhile addition. From the custom grass textures, improved grass lods, and even the seamless transitions between terrains make this mod all the worthwhile. But we're not quite done with the visuals yet. Our last mod we have to enhance the visuals is called Autumn Vegetation. This mod changes New Hanover to have that fall season vibe. So this has given us that sunny fall season look, as well as those beautiful orange trees. The trees have now become a gorgeous yellow and orange canopy, which man, if you had a stressful day at work, download these mods, turn on some calming music and just ride your horse. I'm telling you, all of your stress will just go away. These fall season vibes are immaculate. And this mod affects some other areas of the map as well. So even if you head over to the Great Plains, you'll now be able to see some autumn trees like you could in RDR1. And I definitely say the more trees the better. With all three of these mods combined, you'll definitely have a unique RDR2 experience like no other. Now moving away from the visual mods, we have Red the Drunk's Ambient World. And this mod expands the ambience by adding a variety of NPCs, props, and vehicles to the world. And this mod is absolutely packed with goodies. For example, when you decide to go shopping, you're not going to be the only one in the store now. You'll actually see other townspeople looking for goods as well. The populations of towns have also been increased as well. So now towns will feel more lively with a variety of ambient NPCs. You'll notice new props in towns such as vehicles, different debris and props, as well as various clutter to make the world feel more lived in. This mod is currently in beta and only works for Valentine so far, but as this mod progresses, this will definitely spice up Red Dead Redemption 2. Right now, 100 plus ambient NPCs have been added to Valentine and the nearby areas. NPCs will now be able to enter shops, the amount of vehicles and variety have been increased, and a few expansions to Valentine's including some more campsites around the area definitely make this mod something you should check out. And I'll definitely be keeping you updated if this mod progresses. Next up, we have a mod that adds a feature I know everybody's been waiting for, and this one is called Homestead Robberies. This is currently in beta, but what this does is introduce 2 dynamic homestead robberies into the game. You can ambush, loot, and fight criminals guarding some valuables, so you have another lore-friendly way to gain some cash. Whether you're trying to loot the Deer Cottage or head over to the houseboat, you have a little variety right now. This mod even comes with dynamic NPC AI, so the NPCs guarding the loot will acknowledge your presence, giving you warnings and even attacking. You'll even have post-fight comments from Arthur after the battle, and then you'll be able to loot the area for that cash reward. The homestead robberies will respawn after a day or 2 in game, and you can easily find them with the blips on the map. And keep in mind, this is in beta right now, but as the mod updates, I'm definitely excited to see some more locations added. Now moving on to some combat mods. We have New Austin Euphoria Overhaul. This Euphoria mod aims to give that classic look from GTA 4 and RDR1, which a lot of people seem to like those physics. So if you prefer those styles of Euphoria, this mod could give you the feel that you're looking for. We then have Dueling Redone, High Stakes Showdown. This is an add-on for the duels mod to make duels more intense and skill-based. Your AI opponents will now react faster, draw speeds are quicker, and now aiming requires more precision. Dueling will now feel a little bit better, and now you won't get any more easy wins. And then we have Red Runk's Ultimate Combat Overhaul. This is an entire combat system revamp, transforming RDR2's combat into something more dynamic and grounded. You will experience smarter NPCs, so your enemies will now think more strategically by using cover when they need to, or even retreating when they know they've lost. You'll have enhanced gunplay combat, so your battles will feel more natural and varied. Accuracy has been rebalanced, and now you'll see varying fire rates as well, so NPCs won't duck out of cover every 5 seconds like clockwork. You'll now have realistic melee combat, meaning that you won't be able to kill your enemies with your fists. You'll just be able to knock them out. Your fist fights will last a bit longer, and nearby NPCs might even come over to watch. Damage has been reworked as well, so enemies will no longer be bullet sponges, making combat deadlier for you and your enemies. And then the stamina system has been changed a bit as well. Combat and movement now drain stamina more realistically, so you won't feel like you have unlimited endurance in fights. All this blended together does make combat more challenging, but also make it feel more rewarding. We now have a new crime overhaul mod, and this one is called the Scales of Justice. This isn't a crime overhaul mod that aims to make big adjustments, but instead it tweaks response times as well as how fast the law reacts. So now the law will respond quicker, as well as witness response times have been adjusted, and actually how far a crime can be reported from. So if you're looking for a few quality of life tweaks when it comes to the crime system, you could definitely give the Scales of Justice a try. Now we have a mod I've been craving for a while now, and this one is called No Hat Knockoff. And basically at the press of a hotkey, you can enable or disable hat knockoff. So now when you get yourself into a scuffle, your hat can no longer come off your head. No matter how many times you get punched straight in the face, your hat will stare in your face like a true cowboy. Even if you take a bullet straight to the hat or the head, your hat's gonna be stickier than sticky rice. You'll no longer have to pick up your hat after every scuffle. The creator of this mod is definitely a god among men. Appreciate this one for real. If you do have this mod though, Make sure you go ahead and install the hat bullet hole remover thingy mod as well, just so you don't see any bullet holes lingering in your hat when you get shot. Now I know you see the fresh leather jacket Arthur Morgan's wearing, and this jacket is simply called 4K leather jacket. This replaces the default gunslinger jacket, turning it into all black with this really cool logo on the back as well. And then the bandana that we have is called the Joker Smile bandana, which of course turns that base game bandana into the Joker Smile. And I'd say this actually looks quite cool. And then finally we have a mod called Weapons on Player. So instead of going to your horse to exchange your weapons, you can now access all of your weapons from your weapon wheel. So whether you need your revolver, a new shiny Bugatti, or a rifle, you can equip it whenever you want to. We'll start off with a mod called Respects Camera. This adds some quality of life changes to the in-game camera that can really make your RDR2 gameplay feel smoother than ever. So now, for example, when you fire your weapons, you'll no longer have any camera shake, as well as when you're holstering your weapons too. This mod also removes horizontal letterboxes, so those black bars you experience in cutscenes will no longer be there. This even gives you an improved horse cam, so you'll no longer have the horse camera centering bug. And then also as you get shot at, the camera won't have that annoying swaying back and forth. So if you hate the way the vanilla game handles the camera, you now have a respectable alternative. Now we have the Big Valley Reforestation Project. This transforms the previously dead version of Big Valley into a version where trees are absolutely booming. This place has basically been fully reimagined. The Big Valley area is now true to its name. The dead trees have been removed, and they've been replaced with new and denser versions. They've also added some new tree varieties, and of course you even see some new vegetation in the area. This mod is definitely a must-have, especially if you're trying to get your hunt on. There is nothing more fulfilling than hunting in a place that actually looks like a forest. We definitely need more games with good looking trees. This mod is also compatible with the 1907 map as well as the Pronghorn Ranch, so you won't need to make any compromises there. I mean, come on, look at those trees. And since we're still on the subject of trees, we also have some love for the Grizzly West. This mod is called Dense Forest of the Grizzly West 2.0, and this mod completely transforms the grizzlies from a barren snowy wasteland into a snowy wasteland but packed with some luscious trees. Again, this mod is bringing new life into RDR2, and even these screenshots from the prologue missions of the game, man, you will be fully immersed from the start. There's something about trees, whether you're in real life or a video game, that just brings a certain amount of calmness, and man, I'm feeling pretty calm right now. This is definitely another mod you need to install to further maximize the beauty of this already beautiful game. We then have a new mod called Nip's Realistic Western Euphoria. This is a Euphoria mod that tries to add some more realism into the game. So bodies will seem a little bit heavier, you'll see a little stumbling, and some different physics than what you're used to. Hey, yeah, what's that man doing? This mod is fully compatible with YM's DLC, as well as Red Dead Offline. So if you're looking for a new spin on Euphoria to change up your gameplay a bit, try checking out this new one. Now we have a few mods to make your trip to Gorma as immersive as possible. Starting off with Immersive Gorma. This mod adds a blip on the map called SSS Gorma. You'll be able to find this at the port in Saint Denis. Once you're on the boat and buy yourself a ticket, you'll be entered into an immersive cutscene to take you to Gorma. And then when you finally make it to the island, you'll be on your horse. Anytime you decide to go back, You just need to go talk to the man that's fishing on the dock. But now that you're on the island, there's actually a few more things you can do. Because with the Beta Guarma Restoration Project mod as well, it adds a few more features. This is a lore-friendly complete Guarma overhaul that aims to enhance and renew your Guarma experience. You'll have new things to do, new details on your map, and you'll even run into a few new strangers. This has basically been built from the ground up, and some of the changes you might notice is that Guarma is now named to Guama. La Capilla has been changed to the Monastery. Lower Agua Dulces is now La Village, and now some areas that were previously inaccessible have been named for your immersive experience. You'll also automatically gain access to a physical version of the map you can pull out at any time. When you go into town now, you'll see a few new businesses added in. Now these aren't necessarily enterable, but for places such as the saloon, you'll be able to see drunk dudes outside from time to time. You'll see a house for lodging, a doctor's office, and now even a general store. This helps to add a little bit more believability that people actually live here. There's also been 5 added treasure chests for you to find. And these chests could have gold or other valuables that will definitely bump up your bank account. And now at the monastery, there's now a little bit more for you to explore. The crypt that was previously inaccessible is now opened up and ready for you to explore. You kind of have a makeshift cave underneath the monastery itself. And if that still wasn't enough, you have full access to the whole island. This mod has removed hundreds of invisible walls, so now you can free roam the vast majority of the island. You'll be able to see places you would have never been able to see in vanilla RDR2. Not to mention additional hitching posts added throughout the island. You'll see a bunch of other add-ons such as crashed boats along the ocean for that added immersion, and even a few abandoned campsites. All in all, you have a fantastic mod to add to your Guarma experience. Or maybe I should say Guarma now. This mod definitely breathes in some new life on an island that Rockstar could have potentially made great. Thank goodness there's dedicated modders. Now we have the Out of Bounds mod. This mod disables invisible walls around the map, so now you can go outside of the limitations that RDR2 gives you. And even though you'll probably find nothing past these bounds, it's always nice to fully explore where you actually want to go. You'll no longer be locked inside of a box. We then have a pretty interesting mod called Spit. This gives you a new insult option, allowing you to actually spit on the opponent. Damn. So now instead of using your words, you can use something else.
What reason you? Well, right back at you.
They'll speak like that to a lady.
Ambient Abandoned Wagons gives you a new reason to fully explore the map again. This mod adds abandoned wagons in various locations, and if you actually find them, you could score yourself some valuable loot. These wagons are spread out across land in the Heartlands, Cumberland Forest, and there are even some planned expansions. If you're still playing vanilla RDR2, bro, what are you doing? We then have the mod called Arthur Built Like Fenton. This mod boosts the muscle mass up on Arthur Morgan. Again, we have a mod that boosts his biceps. His pecs be looking, hey, yo. And now them shoulders are boulders. Now, of course, you see that Arthur's player model is supersized, but this is still fully compatible with mods such as the YM's Merge. So you'll see that a bunch of the different shirts work well with this mod. Let's go ahead and put some pants on my mans. That looks good. But for this, if you do try to put on a coat, it's gonna make him look like his regular size. Various vests work with this though. Just make sure you take the shirt off so it'll be compatible. And then of course, whatever boots you wanna wear. Damn, Arthur. What the hell? This dude is looking like a new man. Sadie better watch out, dog. And this first mod we have is an absolute game changer. This mod is called Catalog Improvements. And this mod aims to improve the player customization experience by adding some variety inside the wardrobe, fixing a bunch of clipping issues when it comes to clothing and clothing accessories, and at the same time improving John Marston's appearance by restoring most of his beta assets. They've even ported over his outfits from chapters 1 through 6. This mod offers you so many fixes and improvements that your character will have no choice but to look good. And you even have more variety when it comes to the catalog. So now you're working gloves, you now have a few other color options to really customize your outfit. There's a few new styles for your bow tie as well, which is definitely a nice addition. And you even get a new lantern design, which actually hooks on very well with the Stature Lantern mod. Barely any clipping. Now let's talk about what this actually fixes. You'll actually see a lot less clipping when it comes to pretty much everything. So now your gloves won't clip through your hands. Now certain neckwear items fit properly when you use a bandolier. You see that the position is slightly adjusted. so now you're not clipping in game like you usually would. And now even bandoliers have been fixed. They will now hug your body instead of looking like a hot mess. You now have the option to remove your satchel as well, all through the in-game wardrobe menu. This also includes suspenders. You can now fully remove your shirt as well, and even your offhand holster. Plus, when you have the satchel equipped, you'll see that there's a slight adjustment made once you add on that offhand holster, which is actually a small little detail that's absolutely perfect. How was that not a feature in-game already? There's also been a few changes to how vests work in-game. So now certain open vests like this are now compatible to be used with every single shirt. So now you don't need to make any compromises. And something I wasn't expecting was the addition of a new weapon. You can now purchase the Navy revolver from the gunsmith. This lets you fully customize it as well, so you can get different grips, longer barrels, change up the rifling, and even add some iron sights. This also comes with 2 new metals. The first one is called copper, and the second one is tempered, but these metals aren't exclusive to the Navy revolver. You can use them for whatever weapon you want. Man, that thing is looking good. Navy revolver definitely coming in clutch. Now for the changes when it comes to John Marston. There's been a lot of emphasis put into him so he doesn't look like an Arthur Morgan clone, changing up his appearance to make him actually look like himself. So there's been a series of changes, including adding in some beta assets. My bad, girl. His actual head model has been improved. And then even the hairs he has at the barber, they've been re-edited to match his new head. There's been a suite of changes when it comes to certain cutscenes as well, fixing a few things that should have been. And then of course we mentioned these 6 new added outfits. These are outfits he wore in chapters 1 through 6. You'll now be able to find them in the wardrobe for you to use. And some of these outfits are even Arthur inspired, or they're just unused outfits from beta content. The more ways you have to customize your character, the better, I say. And there's more than just outfits this mod gives you as well. This mod also restores another piece of gear. There's been a few stolen hats that have been restored into the game, and these are hats you can actually see on some of the peds. Just for some reason you couldn't get them yourself, but now that's been changed. They've even added a few more extra collectible hats. So now you'll be able to find the veteran's hat as well as the Sobo hat. And now some previously static hats, they've had weights and physics enabled. So when you walk, you'll see that thing bouncing. There's even unique features like this where this helmet doesn't remove your hair for your character and is fully interactable during some certain animations. It even goes into so much depth that it changes the meat eating animation, so it's not the same animation as any of the other food. And if you're still not sold on this mod yet, there's also been changes when it comes to the horse. So now all owned horses will now have horseshoes, and now all saddles have their own rifle holster, which the color will automatically adjust to depending on the type of saddle you have. Whatever the modders cooked up for this catalog improvements mod is delicious. This mod brings a host of new features that just make the game more irresistible. I loved RDR2 before, but now I think I'm in love with RDR2, if you know what I mean. Now, if anybody knows if this is actually compatible with the YMs plus Eastern Epics merge, definitely let me know, because that would certainly be a game-changing combo. Now we have an update for the graphics mod we're using today. This one is called Vanderlyn's Vision, a visual overhaul. There's been a variety of upgrades and updates. So for instance, the clouds have been reworked and improved. So you'll notice that the clouds are extra fluffy now. Cloud lighting has been improved. There's also been sleet type weather added to the Grizzlies and Roanoke Bridge. Nighttime has been improved, so now you have more realistic moon lighting. Plus the color grading has been enhanced, so you'll see some better contrast. There's been storm improvements in general, so all your weather particles such as rain have been enhanced. I mean, honestly, it's getting harder and harder to choose a graphics mod. All of them are just looking fantastic. And the Vanderlyn visual overhaul is no exception. Now before I forget to mention this, we've also added the Young John Marston Remastered. This mod can be added on top of the Improved Catalogs mod if you want your John to be more of a John. This is a mod that simply improves the textures of both the player character John as well as the NPC version of John as well. Better textures means a better John. Why does it look like he's about to cry though? We then have a mod called Bigger Horses but Better. This is a customizable mod that allows you to change the size of your horse, and is fully compatible with other horse mods. So you can use mods such as Complete Horse Overhaul, or even use different horse coats. When you install this mod, it comes with 2 different bat files. One is for making your horse bigger and one is for making your horse smaller. So now you can finally have horses that are actually horse sizes, not those small things we used to have. Moving on, we have the mod Ansburg Rainforest. This turns the upper Ansburg area into a full-on rainforest. So the area near Roanoke Valley has had all these trees added, giving you a rainforest vibe. And the mod author even plans to change the local weather, fix a bunch of the collision issues, and possibly even expand this. I'm definitely digging the vibe so far. Now we need to take to the streets of Saint Denis. The mod Cherry Blossoms in Saint Denis now lines the street with beauty. New charm has been added to the city with fully blossomed trees, replacing the oak trees you were accustomed to. So now when you're riding the tram, you'll actually have a nice view. The scenery has definitely been enhanced in this historic city. And now that we have Arthur back in town, we have the mod Rugged Arthur. This mod transforms Arthur Morgan into a grittier version of himself. There's been a nice retexture of his gun outfit, giving his gunslinger coat a new type of vibe. It makes the coat look like it's actually been used by adding in these cracks and all of these rips and tears. You can even see that the gunslinger hat has had its days, maybe a few near misses with bullet holes, and then even Arthur's face has been changed up. He now has multiple scars covering his entire face, and these textures will persist no matter what variation of Arthur you're running. So whether you're running regular Arthur, sick Arthur, or the Guarma version, this man is gonna be looking rugged. This mod even adds a new level 6 beard so that your Arthur can be long and strong. Plus the hair has been modified to be of a more gray scale, so Arthur is looking a little bit older. Definitely a pretty cool mod to add on to Arthur Morgan to make him look like the gritty cowboy he is. We'll start off with the mod Project New Austin 1907. We've covered this mod before, but there's been so many new updates for this that it's definitely worth checking out again. Project New Austin is a mod that brings back those classic RDR1 locations. These locations now have added details to match the upgrades that RDR2 has, and now these once empty locations are now full of life. Every location that's affected by this mod has unique peds now, all with their own dynamic schedules. Interiors have been improved upon, and even some hidden secrets you may be able to find. And the cherry on top, this mod was made in a way to not cause any spawn issues, so your immersion won't be broken. And now once you visit Armadillo, you'll notice that the town is all cleaned up now. This once disease-ridden town is now disease-free and full of healthy NPCs. You'll see townfolks now just going about their day, adhering to their new schedule, and there's even been some additions such as a newspaper vendor, a fully working law system, and even a theater now, which is honestly pretty cool. If you decide to take a trip over to Blackwater, you'll see that the Morningstar Ferry has been fully remastered. You'll even be able to explore the boat yourself. It has a whole new interior built from scratch, with a dude playing some tunes, various ambient NPCs, which includes a fully functioning saloon. You have some gambling mini games you can dive into, as well as a bunch of other small details you'll have to find for yourself. And speaking of boats, the Wreck of Serendipity has been remastered and enhanced as well. You'll now see different levels of decay throughout the ship, which is very cool to see. You'll be able to explore what's left inside, and now you'll even encounter the newly formed treasure hunter gang, which I've guessed they made this wreck their new home. So you first have to take them out if you want to take a look. The McFarland Ranch has been redone as well, so you'll see an all new barn, enhanced and looking spicy. The general store is back, which of course you can browse around in. They even have a nice ring around the rosy train going around. There's a foreman's office as well, which you can again browse around in, a working train station, and of course many other added small details for you to discover. McFarland Ranch is back and better than ever. All in all, there's a lot this mod has to offer, from a fully functioning railroad system, new additions to various settlements, and even some unique gang hideouts like you saw with that treasure hunter gang. There are a lot of different locations to rediscover, and plenty of secrets to find to make this mod worth adding into your RDR2 mod list. Moving on, we have Light, the multiplayer asset enabler. And I have to give this one a shout out since this is the new version of the online content unlocker. This is basically an updated version of that offers some various versions depending on what you need. This is supposed to keep RDR2 as optimized as possible, and so far it's been working perfectly. I've been running all the mods I usually run with no issues at all. Plus, if you plan on installing Project New Austin, the old online content unlocker will not work. If you try to use it, you'll get an FFF error, so make sure you go ahead and install this new version. It'll definitely help you save a lot of headaches. Next, we have a much requested mod, Utah Heartlands. This is a mod that overhauls the entire Heartlands area. You'll bear witness to new rocks added, new grass textures, and even new soil. Even the foliage colors have been adjusted a bit, and honestly I gotta say this looks spectacular. The reddish brown rocks this mod adds, with the new orange brown soil, really just make everything kind of pop out. And myself originally coming from Colorado, Man, this is bringing back some childhood memories. The Cumberland Forest is also affected by this, so you'll see some of the rocks, foliage, and soil changed here as well as the Dakota River area. This river is looking nice now. The Utah Heartlands mods adds a lot of great details, and I'm just glad y'all recommended this. This is another mod too good to pass up. Next, we have to talk about bandit hideouts again. This mod continues to get better and better with each update. Bandit hideouts adds various hideouts for you to fight, well, bandits. And now there's actually 140 locations for you to do this. The map is littered with different locations where you can get into a gunfight at any time. You actually get money for clearing these hideouts, but that's not all this mod has to offer either. There are 50 points on the map where you can actually get ambushed. You'll be ambushed by a posse of bandits on horses, and they will hunt you down if you don't take them out first. You can hire up to 9 gunmen you can find in the saloon to help you clear out these bandits. And this mod even lets you turn those bandit hideouts into zombie hideouts instead if you wanted to. Bandit hideouts comes jam-packed with features, so if you need some in-game infinite replayability, Bandit Hideouts has got you covered. We then have a mod called Space Cowgirl's Mule Pack, and with this mod it replaces a bunch of horses with mules. These mules will have new custom coats, they're compatible with story mode, and this offers up some variety than what you get in the base game. And honestly, this mod author has a bunch of cool horse packs you can check out. Super detailed customized coats, and the best part is you can pick and choose what coats you want in your game. We've paired this mod with realistic horse eyes, so now the horse eyes have been upgraded, and you'll even see a few new ones on your journey now. These horses are looking a little bit too crispy now. Now I know you see that Arthur's a little bit thicker. This is thanks to a mod called Arthur Built Like Reacher. Arthur Morgan is now stacked like the man Jack Reacher himself. Those biceps are bulging. Those forearms will choke you out. And now Arthur Morgan is his actual height, 6'5". If you want to be the best version of Arthur with some 3D shoulders too, you absolutely have to try this mod. Now we have a nice new outfit for Arthur, as well as a few new weapons. We'll start off with the fit. The jacket is the Rick Grimes murder jacket, which gives you this stylish jacket from The Walking Dead. I'd say it fits quite well into the RDR2 universe. And then of course you need to pair this with the Rick Grimes sheriff hat. Now that you have the iconic coat as well as the hat, you are absolutely styling. Now we have a few new modern weapons. This first one is the AK-12. This brings a sleek new weapon into the game, replacing the carbine repeater. This weapon definitely has some great detail to it, and this even lets you use the scope attached on top. Now this weapon isn't fully automatic yet, but it seems like the mod author is working on it. Next we have the modern sidearm pack, and this mod changes 8 handguns to be more modern versions of themselves. So you have weapons such as the MAC-10, the Scorpion, you have the Stechkin APS, which is probably conflicting with something else I have, the Walther PPK, we have the CZ75 and the H&K USP, and then the SIG and Tech 9. You'll see that in the weapon menu itself, they have custom icons for the HUD. 4 of these modern weapons will be semi-automatic, while the ones that are supposed to be automatic will be fully automatic. Now this definitely isn't lore friendly, but you have to admit this is pretty fun. Now I want you to take a look at these horse textures. The horses have been upgraded with the equine texture improvements. This greatly improves the texture detail of horses and mules so that the horses of the game can look their best. And this mod will definitely come in handy for this next mod. This mod is called Gang Horses, and this replaces a few of the horses in game with some unique horses only your gang members would ride. So now you can use Javier's horse, you can ride Dutch's horse, or even Bill's horse, which is probably my favorite one. You can also replace Arthur's horse for Sadie's horse in the epilogue. We'll first get started with Rampage Trainer. Rampage has had a pretty significant update, adding in some cool new features as well as bug fixes. One of them includes a wardrobe system overhaul, so if we head into the wardrobe menu, you'll see that we have quite a few new options. So now you can load a clean body without any clothing, so you don't have to remove all the pieces yourself. You can load default components. There's this new armor MP where you're able to choose SP, MP, or even both. So you have some new options to choose from there. You even have multiplayer coats, gauntlets, leg attachments, different accessories, and some new custom options as well. There's a new law dispatch generator, which allows you to set the dispatch multiplier, and it looks like you even get to pick the units that will respond. There's been some additions to the stats editor where you can add health, stamina, and deadeye to tanks. The hell? You can now enable side saddle riding, which looks a bit funny for Arthur. But if you're playing a female character that's wearing a dress, man, that's absolutely perfect. There's been some new facial animations added. Now there's a setting where you can shuffle seats while you're driving a vehicle in case you want to be a passenger. You can now control some of your horse's animations. So if you played this one, damn, that dude is unloading. You can also play the played injured animation. Oh, damn, you good? Okay, he was just playing. There's a new bleed out gun option. So once you apply this, your weapons will now cause instant bleed. My bad, dog. You good? Definitely comes in handy for testing out these Euphoria mods or even the Ped Damage Reloaded. There's been a few changes to Peds you spawn in now too. So now you're able to give them custom weapons. Let me give you that shoddy Bugatti. These Peds will spawn in with various outfits, just randomly. There's even a few where you can just change them. Now there's a bunch of other smaller tweaks as well. So if you want to check out the full list of features added, make sure you go check out the Rampage Trainer mod page. These are just the features that stood out to me. Now though, we have the brand new mod, Immersive Dog. This is pretty much a big upgrade from the Dog Companions mod. This mod allows you to adopt any dog on the street by just going up and patting it. But if you are having trouble finding dogs, you can always use Rampage Trainer, going into the spawner, going into Peds, and then once you go into animals, you'll scroll all the way down until you find the dog category. You can spawn in any of these dogs and simply just walk up to them, pat them, and then adopt. Now this mod is supposed to make dogs behave naturally and feel more alive. But dogs are more than just your companion now. This mod has a whole bunch of different features, allowing different dogs to behave differently depending on their breed. There's new advanced AI interactions. So say you dropped your hat, your dog will now go ahead and pick it up. Your dog companion even has a unique herding feature. So animals such as deer and other prey, your dog will kind of flank them, pushing that animal towards you. So whenever you aim at that animal, your dog will engage. But how good your dog is at doing this also depends on the breed. So breeds like shepherds or poodles are going to be your best bet if you're trying to hunt some of that big game. Your dog can also fetch smaller prey, but this is specific to certain dogs. So you either need a poodle or a retriever. So if you happen to take down some smaller prey, your dog will go ahead and retrieve it for you. All in all, this is a super diverse mod that really adds some diverse mechanics that are actually helpful in game. Next up, we have Dive Crawling Gun. This mod allows you to go full prone and even gives you the ability to still shoot. Man, that's gonna come in handy. Normally by pressing the crouch button, you'll go into your regular sneak stance. But when you hold that button down for a few seconds, you'll go full prone. This mod even allows you to dive prone. Damn. And while you're diving, you can even enable Deadeye. If I can get the timing right. There we go. Nice slow-mo. You're able to dive in 4 different directions. You have this pretty cool sitting animation if you do that backwards dive. You can do a sideways dive in either left or right variations. And this even enables you to less likely be seen by the enemy. This fully works as sneaking in game. You have different animations for turning to the side, which make this mod even more immersive. You have different prone stances. You can even go backwards while proning. You can go slow crawling. You can take it up a notch. And man, I gotta say, this thing is feature complete. This mod actually adds some pretty cool new features. Now we have a mod called Red the Drunks Hunted. This revamps the bounty hunter system to make it more dynamic, engaging, and impactful. So now you'll have some pretty real consequences. This mod improves the bounty hunter system by introducing some dynamic encounters. Bounty hunters will now hunt you down based on the amount your bounty is. So the higher the bounty, the higher grade the bounty hunter that's going to be hunting you. Now when these bounty hunters finally find you, they will stop at nothing to hunt you down. These guys are about to come out the woodwork to put some lead in you. And like I said before, the higher your bounty, the more equipped these bounty hunters will be. They'll have better loadouts, faster mounts, and even more aggressive behavior. Some bounty hunters may even use tracking dogs. So if you're trying to evade them with those, good luck. Bounty hunters also don't care about boundaries. So if your bounty's in the heartlands, they will cross land boundaries and follow you wherever you go. You will be safe absolutely nowhere. They'll attack you out in the wild, while you're out grocery shopping in town, or even while you're camping. Bounty hunters won't be the only people trying to chase you down either. Lawmen might make an appearance as well. Your bounty also increases daily, so if you don't pay it off as soon as possible, you could have yourself a huge debt you can't recover from. And even if you do manage to eliminate all of the bounty hunters, reinforcements may be on the way. See, look, this guy just came out of nowhere. These bounty hunters ain't stopping. And now getting caught even has its consequences. Now when you're apprehended by the law, Wait, how do you get arrested? Because that cop just shot me in the dome. Either way, when you get arrested, you get your gun stripped as well as your ammo. So if you got some good weapons on you, man, I'm gonna pray for you. This mod finally adds real consequences to real actions you make in game. So whatever you decide to do, you better be prepared. Now a mod that works rather well with this is Red the Drunk's Realistic Law Dispatch Response. Much like the bounty hunting system, this mod revamps the law system as well. This makes the Wild Wild West wild again by completely overhauling the law dispatch system by making it more realistic and more accurate to lore. Now the law system is more seamless, dynamic, rational, and more unpredictable. Bro, shot my hat off. So now when the law's after you, it won't just be the law that's hunting you. There could be other factions or groups, or just upstanding citizens that'll try to take you down. And of course, this all depends on the region you're in. Different regions will have different kind of folk trying to get you. There's also no more instant lawmen when a witness sees you. Depending on the location you're at, it could take some time for them to actually find you. Now this mod is fully comprehensive with a whole bunch of features you can actually tweak yourself. So if a few of them are a little bit too intense for you, you can customize different intervals or even turn different settings on or off. Definitely check the mod page out on this one because there's a whole bunch of new added features that just make the law system that much more better. There we go, I got arrested. I'm sorry Arthur, man, I'm just trying to do a mod showcase, bro. Don't hold it against me, man. But would you look at that? The Popo confiscated my weapons, so now my revolvers are gone. And although my horse still has the weapons I had on it, all of the ammo has been taken. So yeah, do not get caught by the cops. Now we have a mod called Many More Map Markers. With so much to discover in RDR2, there's not enough map markers in game to really mark each location you want to revisit. That's where this mod comes in handy. By opening up your radar menu, you'll have a wheel menu which you can use to mark your spot. Once you set your mark, you can name that location if you want, just so you can keep it nice and organized, because you can have up to 500 different map markers on the map at a time. So whatever you find, you can mark it with no worries. We've then been testing out the mod Best Camera Settings. This camera mod has zero smoothing, better third-person camera, whether you're on foot or on horseback, and even the first person has been adjusted, so it looks like you kind of get a wider view. Also, the third person, you actually get to see the whole body. So this is that first zoom out, this is the second zoom out, and then this is the final one. So any camera option you use, you actually get a beautiful view. And honestly, that first zoom out is all you need. You get the full body so you can see your wardrobe and a very nice view of the environment. I might actually have to switch to this one from the other one I've been using. I'm quite digging it. Now we have the mod Dynamic Hair Color. This mod basically allows you to change the color of your hair or beard to whatever you want. You basically have a file you can edit that allows you to have blue, green, yellow, red, whatever color you want. So if you want darker hair, you have that option. Light brown. Did I mention this works for John as well? And you can even modularly change the different colors. So you can have a different color for the beard, the mustache, the chops, and even for what's on top of the head. This mod truly gives you full mod customizability for the hair color you want your character to be. Plus I'm using the whole YM's EE merge, and as you can see, this is working flawlessly. You definitely gotta love that. Now holy guacamole, no apologies for this next mod because I'm absolutely loving it. This mod is simply called Thicker Saddler. Yeah, damn. This mod speaks for itself. It makes the girl we love a little bit thicker. Damn, I think we need a Sadie only game. Now I know you notice we have John instead of Arthur starting off this time. That of course is for a good reason. Our first mod is an absolute banger when it comes to overhauling John Marston. This mod is called the Outlaw's Return. This is a mod that overhauls John Marston's NPC and player assets. This is an attempt to make John as RDR1 accurate as possible, while still retaining the unique art style of RDR2. Using the RDR1 head model, this mod modifies the RDR2 model to give him a more classic look. So you're kind of getting the classic look combined with the RDR2 art style. If you like to go bald mode for your John, there's been some refined scalp textures for you. John's body has new textures. This has to be from the wolf attack, right? You also have NPC outfit edits. So as you're playing along with the story mode, your John Marston will be looking as crispy as ever. There are now even a few new added beard styles, including an extra clean shave, a gentleman shave, the Scotsman, and even the deadbeat. You even get a few optional add-ons with this mod, so you can install a few different skin tone alternatives. You can have the No Lazy Eye add-on, or even install the Beta Cowboy outfit. This even works with catalog improvements, or optionally the Artie and Johnny mod, so you can kinda double dip with the goodness. And then of course you can even add the extended player animations mod, so your newly enhanced John will have his own animations. John Marston has been eating good this year with the amount of custom mods this man's been getting, and man, I love to see it. Now we have the mod Mexico LODs restored. In short, LODs mean level of detail, and what this mod does is bring detail back to New Mexico. So while you're on the coast of New Austin and trying to view Mexico from the coast, you'll now actually be able to see some detail. This is bringing the LOD models from the PS4 version of the game. So now you'll be able to see a few towns such as Tuberosa, Casa Madrugada, and of course a few others. It's just one of those quality of life mods that add that much more immersion into the game. Next, we have the mod Tallulah Jetty restored. This was a settlement that used to be in a pre-release build of RDR2, and this mod is here to bring it back. Tallulah Jetty has now been restored, and even reimagined in a sense. So now the lighthouse has been restored to its former glory, and now there's even a small gang presence at this location. This game was actually mentioned in newspapers in-game, but this mod finally brings them to life. Restored cut content has never looked better. They even got a guy fishing for snakes though. What the hell? We now need to head to Saint Denis for this next mod you suggested. This mod is the Beta Lawman Overhaul. This restores the Beta Saint Denis uniforms. So now you have the original navy blue uniform, which make the police look better than ever. So their uniforms now have a darker blue tone, their gun belts are now brown, and they even have a more high quality texture now. This even modifies the outfit you get to use in the Goodbye Old Friend story mode mission. Plus, as an added bonus, this even affects the uniforms on the prison island, restoring the beta Sisika models, as well as adding in those HD textures. I didn't know the Popo could look so good. Now, we've talked about this mod before, and it seems that a lot of you really enjoy this graphics overhaul. I might just finally switch over from Visual Redemption. This mod is called Flare. Full light and atmosphere rendering enhancement. This is a complete overhaul, changing things such as time cycles and weather cycles, and has been crafted in a way to enhance the visual fidelity as well as add in a touch of realism. Flare comes with a bunch of uniquely polished weather systems, giving you a beautiful experience no matter where you may find yourself. And seriously, these weather cycles will have you loving RDR2 even more. Flare even makes lighting look the best it's ever been. Global illumination has been fine-tuned, giving you this really unique view. Nothing is overly bright during the day, and of course even the nights aren't overly dark. It's almost this sort of perfect blend. Even the clouds have been enhanced by adding in their own movement pattern, creating more density, just adding a bit more realism. Wind mechanics are even added by Flare, which depending on the weather cycle, you now have dynamic gusts that may appear. Wind intensity and duration will also be there, and with the particle system overhaul, you have yourself a full package. Particle effects such as rain, fog, snow, they all now render in a more natural way, making these effects blend seamlessly together. When it starts to storm, you'll really feel that storm. This mod isn't even fully completed yet, so this isn't even the final form. There are still a few weather types that are a work in progress, but of course as this mod gets updated, I'll keep you updated. For now though, Flare definitely has my vote. Now for some reason this mod was suggested. This one is the Hot Pink Tahiti shirt, and honestly this mod is kind of crack-a-lackin'. When I lived in Hawaii, I used to wear these shirts all the time. We used to call it Aloha Fridays. This mod lets you go to Tahiti in style. Hot pink with the floral print. God damn, Arthur, you are looking good. I think Sadie agrees too. Now it's time for a highly requested mod. I've seen this one pop up a few times in my videos now, and this one is called Masters Western Style Euphoria Overhaul. This mod changes the old RDR2 Euphoria into something that's a little bit more loose, meaning that the impact of your weapon or whatever else you shoot NPCs with, they will be overreacting. NPCs will feel the weight of that shot, and with this you'll see looser, more dynamic reactions. This ragdoll mod isn't meant to be realistic, but instead a lot more fun. I'll let you see these clips here so you see what I mean. Our first mod is called Most Wanted, Ultimate Bounty Hunters. This is a massive overhaul of the game's bounty hunter system, which provides you a framework you can totally customize yourself. This comes from the same mod author who made the Ultimate Wagon mod, so if you saw our last video with the amount of customization options you have, then you already know this mod comes jam-packed as well. Most Wanted allows you to set up customizable timers. This tracks your in-game time, so after a certain time elapses, bounty hunters will start to spawn and hunt you down. The bounty hunters will spawn in a ring-like pattern around the character, and you can actually determine on how close or far they spawn from you. And when these guys spawn, it's not like they'll automatically know where you are. They'll need to be within a certain range in order for them to lock onto you and start aggro, so you won't get blindsided too bad. These bounty hunters are smart too. If you happen to be in towns, the bounty hunters will actually climb ladders and search buildings to find you. And when they find you, it's time to fight. But fighting isn't your only option either. You can choose to evade them, and if you're successful in losing their line of sight, you'll be safe until they find you again. There are also 5 customizable bounty tiers, so depending on how high your bounty actually is in the region, you'll have different types of enemy spawn. The higher your bounty, the higher your tier, which means the more lethal the enemy will be. There's also 3 customizable variations for the bounty hunter spawns. So you have foot, which the bounty hunters will be on foot looking for you. You have dog, which is the same as foot, but now they have dogs to assist them. And then the third tier is horse. So of course these bounty hunters will be on horseback. You're also fully able to customize the weapon loadouts for each of the bounty hunter tiers, so you can pick and choose weapons for all 5 tiers. So this ability allows you to customize the difficulty to your liking. All of these settings are easily customized in the mostwanted.ini file, so you can customize the amount of bounty hunters after you, their spawn rate, as well as dozens of other settings. However you like to play as, this mod has you covered. Next up is the mod Trough Drowning. This mod allows you to drown people in troughs you find across the map. So now if you find yourself in a situation with a fellow NPC, whenever you're grappling with the enemy and near a trough, you'll be able to start a drowning action. And you do have 2 different options for this. So similar to the story missions where you get to do this, you have the ability to fully drown your NPC or just do a few quick dunks and release. Rockstar really dropped the ball on this one. This was already a mechanic in game, which could have been easily added as a feature in free roam, but at least mods are here to save the day. Now it's time for Banks of the West, Banks, Bank Robbers, and Death Rebalance. This mod adds fully functional banks to RDR2 free roam. You're able to now deposit and withdraw your money at banks, and the ability to deposit your money will come in handy because if you happen to die with cash on you, now it's gone forever. So as long as your money is safe in the bank, you won't lose any of your funds. There is another upside side to depositing your money because you're able to earn daily interest. So every day when the clock strikes midnight, you'll find yourself with a few extra dollars in your bank account. You're even able to do bank heists. So by pointing the gun at the bank clerk, you can order them to open the gates, and once they comply, you can force them to go to the vault as well. And then from here you have two different options. You can order the clerk to open the vault for you, or if you have dynamite on hand, you can use that to blow it up. Every heist will net you a few $1,000s, so this can be very lucrative. You're able to use the Valentine, Rhodes, Lemoyne, Ansburg, West Elizabeth, and the Bank of Armadillo when you want to withdraw, deposit, or rob the banks. Plus there's even a new bank icon you can view from the map to make things a little bit easier to find. There's even an extra added system if you happen to be wanted. So if you're wanted with a bounty over $100 and you happen to be taken out by law enforcement will seize half of your assets. So if you had $1 million in the bank, the police now have 500,000 of that. This now adds an extra layer of risk. All of this, of course, is customizable in the ini file, so you can customize, tweak, turn off certain settings, or even turn on certain ones. Next, we have the Dense Forest of New Austin. This mod introduces a brand new forest across Gaptooth Ridge. So now Tumbleweed isn't just full of tumbleweeds. Now these newly added trees stretch from Tumbleweed all the way over to the Sea of Coronado. Now you get to enjoy a dense woodland environment lined with ponderosa trees. This mod was inspired by real-life areas such as Arizona and New Mexico. And shoot, I used to live in Arizona, so I can definitely dig this mod. Live Leak Ragdoll Overhaul Into the Fray adds in realism to RDR2. This mod tries to make ragdolls as physically realistic as possible, and inspiration was actually taken from live leaked footage of people that had unfortunate things happen to them. NPCs are more reactive and attentive in situations where they're getting hurt or even scared. When falling, NPCs will attempt to grab nearby objects, as you probably would try to in real life. The type of bullet you choose to shoot with will give you varying reaction types, as well as different impacts. Explosions will ragdoll people even further away, causing a whole array of random reactions, and even the first few shots you land on NPCs, they may look a little dazed and confused now. And now when you get a clean headshot, they will go completely limp, mimicking a real life scenario. So if you're looking for one of the most realistic ragdoll mods out there for RDR2, you definitely have to give Live Leaks a download. Now we have the man Dr. King Schultz. This brings the iconic character from Django into RDR2. This man comes with a few different clothing options, so by using Rampage Trainer and selecting a different variation, you can cycle through his various wardrobe options. And this even comes with different versions, so you can go with the regular custom input, which will be your basic add-on ped, but instead you can have him take over the Ansburg Gunsmith, or even Hosea or Strauss. The choice is yours to make. Now unfortunately, one of my favorite mods, Rifle Holster, is gone. Thankfully though, we have somewhat of a replacement. This is John Carter's RDR1 Rifle Holster. This replaces the Bear and Raven Talisman to switch it up for a holster now. Now it does have some clipping with this, but it's one of those trade-offs you need to deal with if you actually want a rifle holster in game. Now we have the RDR2 Mod Toggler. This is a way for you to enable and disable mods from just one game folder. This basically uses two different bat files, one to enable your mods and one to disable your mods. So if you don't have the space to have multiple copies of RDR2, one for modded gameplay and one for online, this mod could be exactly what you're looking for. Now though, I want to talk about Cinematic Camera. Cinematic Camera is a tool that allows you to do a bunch of unique things. You have a bunch of different features to get the cinematic shot that you may be looking for. You can set up multiple player cameras, so while you're doing your business in the game, you can transition from each of them with customizable smoothness and duration to actually create some pretty unique things. I've only been using this for a few weeks now, but the sheer amount of things you can customize and use, the options are pretty much limitless. And yeah, the amount of things you can customize definitely is intimidating to say the least. But pretty much with anything in life, if you play around with it long enough, you'll learn the ropes. This mod is called Season Manager, 12-stage dynamic weather and climate overhaul. This mod works in tandem with the dynamic seasons mod to give you a 12-stage seasonal cycle that completely overhauls the weather as well as the climate. This dynamically adjusts the weather, temperature, and climate, and all of these factors change depending on the time of year you are in game. Now we have a lot to cover. I'll be showing you everything this mod can actually do, all of the different add-ons that are available right now, and then if you stick around to the end, I'll be showing you how to install all of this for yourself. Now what does this Season Manager actually do though? Essentially, this is a mod to add a little immersion into your game. This allows the game to follow a realistic 12-stage seasonal cycle, so now as you're playing through the game, you will experience summer, spring, fall, and even winter. But there's a lot more that goes into it too. This Seasonal Manager even handles other seasonal mods. So for instance, mods like Autumn Vegetation 2.0, the definitive single player snow mod, and even the extreme grass mod will all be managed by the Seasonal Manager. So depending on the season you're actually in, the mod will either turn off or turn on these individual mods. So right now this Season Manager automatically has the Autumn Vegetation 2.0 on, and as the seasons change throughout the video, you'll see these other add-ons turn on and off dynamically. One thing to note with this mod though is that you won't see seasons change while you're in game. Instead, after a certain amount of time has passed while you play, you'll need to exit the game, and the next time you relaunch, you may see yourself in another season. The length of season is totally customizable, so I'll show you how to do that in the install portion. Now, as said before, this affects all states and all 38 regions. So the whole map of RDR2 has increased immersion. And as we said earlier, now we're in the winter season, and now the Season Manager automatically turned on the single snow player mod. So now Saint Denis is covered in that white powder. It does not get any better than that. Seasons Manager has a lot going on under the hood as well. Now I barely passed math class in high school, and I use the weather app on my iPhone to tell me what's going on. But to make this as simple as possible, this creates a seamless experience. With each of the 4 seasons, there's actually 8 transitions within each. So as this season continues to move forward, you'll see smooth transitions throughout each. So you'll begin to see temperature fluctuations, dynamic weather changes, and all this is based on real-world stats. This even works in tandem with a few other weather changers and visual enhancement mods. So in this video, the graphics you're seeing are from Vestige 2.0. You also have the option to use Vestige 1 or even Wimes visuals. And if you don't want to, you don't need to install any of these other visual mods. This comes with its own visual mod if you want to use that instead. It seriously goes into a lot of depth on the mod page, so if you really want to get into the nitty-gritty of this mod, definitely go and give that a read. Now before we move on to some of the add-ons for this, I did notice when you go into Deadeye, I guess this mod overrides remove screen effects. So if you like to have your Deadeye a clear screen like this will definitely override it, so you'll have that tint back up and running again. Unfortunate. Now we'll get into some of the add-ons you can actually add to Season Manager. These were additional mods created that you can essentially layer on top to give you an even more immersive experience. This first add-on is called 12-Stage Seasonal Visuals and Environment. This is an add-on that controls the game's graphics as well as the visual effects. This gives you 12 unique visual profiles with over 225 different graphical parameters that are changed. So no matter what time of the year it is, it'll look and feel perfect for that specific time of the year. And again, you can pair this with a whole bunch of other graphical mods such as Vestige, Visual Redemption, or even Kiddo's World Wildlife Weather. You can really have the look you want in game with these. Some of the key features that come with this mod are the atmosphere and lighting. So depending on the time of year, the lighting will change. Lighting and shadows have been changed, and this all depends on the seasonal environment that you happen to be in. The brightness of the light will also depend on the temperature. So if you find yourself in Saint Denis during the winter time, you'll notice that the street lamps or even the trams will have a little bit brighter light due to that glint you get off from the snow. You now have dynamic weather environments, so now the physical world will adapt to the different weather changes. So now things such as the amount of time it takes you to dry is directly related to the temperature. So the hotter it is, the faster your character or whatever else will dry. Puddles and mud are now changed, so again depending on the season, puddles and mud will have a dynamic thickness associated with them. You'll even notice that certain vehicles have dirt attached to them depending on the season as well. Even sweat mechanics have been altered, so of course if you're in the middle of a desert in the summertime, you should be sweating balls. But alternatively, if you're hitting it hard in the wintertime, Arthur will no longer be dripping with sweat. This goes into so much detail it even affects the animals. So now animals have seasonal fur. Now when you catch a furry animal out in the wintertime, you will notice that their fur is pretty much doubled. Dirt accumulation is changed too, and yeah, this depends on the season. So you'll get caked on with dirt much faster in the wet spring and autumn months, whereas in summer you'll look more dry and dusty. There are also vegetation, wind, and water changes. So the foliage and water physics respond to the actual time of year, determined by whatever the wind speed may be that dynamically changes. The wind will no longer be static, so you'll feel that the environment is a lot more alive. You'll also have better water reflections that are actually tied to the current atmospheric conditions, so you'll see a change in reflection depending on the season you're in. And then there's even the post-processing that adds another layer to this. This is a 12-stage camera filter, and depending on the season and stage you're in, the in-game image will actually change. So on hot summer days you may see more bloom to kind of give you that hazy looking effect, while in the wintertime the sharpening will be increased, giving you a sharp, crisp, defined picture. And again, this add-on for Seasons Manager comes with a lot of different details on the mod page. So again, if you want to get into the nitty-gritty of what this mod can actually do, definitely go give it a gander. Now we'll get into the second add-on, Dynamic Seasonal Wildlife Ecosystem. This brings dynamic changes to the wildlife you see in each season now. Animals are now governed by a 12-stage seasonal cycle, which is governed by a different set of rules for each season. This dictates things such as population, so in seasons such as summer, the population size will be more than doubled. There's more foliage to eat, so the animals will be out and about feasting. However, in the winter season, animals will be a lot less abundant, making it a lot harder to hunt since the environment is naturally a lot harsher. Animals now have survival-based AI as well, which is based on seasonal scarcity. This effect mostly takes place in the winter, when there's a lot more scarcity when it comes to food. So animals will now actively conserve energy, only wandering around when it's completely necessary. Animals tend to be a lot more skittish as well in the wintertime. Such predators such as wolves and bears are just as desperate for food. You'll even encounter dynamic world interactions. This applies to the world as well as you, the player character. This applies to things such as bait, so using bait in a plentiful season such as summer will yield less effective results, while in the wintertime if you try using bait, it will be a lot more effective due to necessity. You'll even see cool realistic mechanics, such as traction control based on the season. This affects things such as turning speed or even your sprint speed while you're moving on the ice or snow. This even affects your horse actually. And in the wintertime as well, you will see groups of animals herded up closer together in order to keep warm. Now moving on to our final add-on for Season Manager. This one is the 12-stage dynamic seasonal herbalism. This is an add-on that overhauls the plant harvesting system. So as you can expect, this season dictates the abundance of the foliage. This system affects over 40 of the in-game plants, from herbs to flowers to berries, and now they follow a seasonal timeline. So plants will grow in the spring, they'll hit their peak in summer, start to wane in autumn, and then in winter, they'll all be gone. There are some exceptions to this though, so berries will be ripe in summer, mushrooms thrive in the dampness of spring and autumn, but once it hits summer they disappear from the dryness. And then there are specialty flowers such as the violet snowdrop that only appear in the cold of winter. There's so many cool things that come with this add-on, you'd be wrong if you just didn't install this on top. Now by now you should know how good this mod is. So if you want to install this yourself, I'll go through a quick guide now just to help you out. I'm just going over the mods that we've shown in the video. So the assumption is you've watched my previous mod guide, so you have the requirements such as script hook, LML, and so on and so forth. If you haven't watched my how to mod RDR2 video yet, I'll leave a link down in the description, so make sure you watch that first and then come back to this. Let's get started. We'll begin by installing Dynamic Seasons first. So we'll download the main file, we'll open the mod up, and inside of the zip file, you want to take account into the Seasons Vestigia as well as the Seasons folder. You only want to use one of these. So if you plan on using the Vestigia visual add-on, you will go ahead and select this one. If you don't plan on using Vestigia at all, you'll instead use the regular seasons folder. I'm using Vestigia, so we'll take this folder as well as LML, INI, DAT, and the ASI file. You just need to drag and drop these inside of your RDR2 game root folder. We'll then download the actual season manager. So on the files tab, you have a few different files to choose from, and this all depends on the visual mod you plan to use. So if you don't plan on using Vestigia 1, Vestigia 2, or the YM's visuals, you're going to go ahead and select this main files. If you are going to use one of these graphics mods, you just need to choose the correct one. Since I'm using Vestigia 2, we'll go ahead and select that. We'll open up the mod, and then from here, you'll take all three of these files and drag and drop it into your game root folder. Now we'll be installing Vestigia 2.0, but if you want a different kind of look on the Seasoner Manager mod page, again, you can use either YM's Visuals, Vestigia Legacy, or the Vestigia 2.0 like I do. So we'll go ahead and install the 2.0, and then once you open the mod, we're just taking this Vestigia folder and placing it inside of the LML folder. Now these next three mods are optional add-ons, but they definitely do go a long way, so I recommend adding them, if your PC can handle it, of course. So Extreme Grass, we'll go to the files. I'm going to be downloading the first version, and then for Autumn Vegetation 2.0, go into the files. And then for this, we want to download the Dynamic Seasons Edition. It's going to be the same for the Snow mod. We want to download the Dynamic Seasons Edition. So we'll open up the Snow mod. We'll open the folder that says open this folder. And then from here, we're taking both the ASI file as well as the LML folder and dragging it inside of our RDR2 game folder. Same for the Autumn 2.0. We're just dragging this LML folder inside of our game root folder. And then for Extreme Grass, we'll open up this Touch Grass folder and drag this LML folder into our RDR2 root folder. We'll also snag this graphics.ytt crash fix to prevent some crashing. So we'll go into the files, hit that manual download, and then once you open up the mod, you will see one.asi file. You just drag this inside of your game root folder. Now we'll install the add-ons for the season manager. We'll start off with the visuals and environment. So we'll go into the files tab, and under the main files, you're going to need to download the season manager times. If you didn't choose a visual mod before, you can install this one as well, season manager visuals. And then under the optional files, if you are using another visual mod, you should be able to find it under here. You're going to need to download that as well. So since I'm using Vestigia 2, I'll go ahead and download this one. We'll then open up the Season Manager Times mod, and all you need to do is drag that LML folder inside of your game root folder. Now for the Vestigia 2 add-on, we'll do the same thing. It's just a simple LML folder you drag and drop. And then next we'll have the Seasonal Wildlife add-on. In the files, you go into manual download, and then once you open up the mod, it's just another LML folder you drag and drop inside your game folder. And then last we have the Seasonal Herbalism. Again, in the files tab, we'll download this, and then once you open up the mod, you'll have one last LML folder you just drag and drop. Now there are a few changes you can make, so we'll be taking a look at the seasons.dat file as well as the seasons.ini file. If you go ahead and click into this, there are some settings you can change. So if you want to change the minutes before the season transitions, you can change the length of minutes. If you want to see the actual season that you're in, you can enable the widget. These depend on if you have another visual mod installed. And then at the bottom, there's the Vestigia compatibility mode. So I have this turned on with a 1 since I'm using Vestigia 2. You can also go into your seasons.dat file. Here you'll see two different numbers. I'm not exactly sure what this one does, but if you change the second number to either a 1, 2, 3, or 4, you will essentially change the season that you're in. So spring, summer, winter, or fall, if that's something you want to change manually yourself. Let me know what you think about this new Seasons Manager mod. I'll definitely do a bit more testing, but from what I've seen already, I'm actually really enjoying it. It's actually giving me some inspiration to create another immersion mod list for RDR2, and might even make it into my mod showcase list. For now though, if you don't want to miss out on future RDR2 mod showcases, make sure you hit that like and subscribe. We have a lot more jam-packed mod videos before the year ends, and I'd hate for you to miss it. Until next time though, we'll see ya.